So, what is generational trauma? It's basically trauma that extends from one generation to the next. It begins when a group experiences a traumatic event that causes economic, cultural, familial distress. In response, people belonging to that group develop physical or psychological symptoms. It's also, and this is the picture I have on the screen, so I'm just going to read it real quick. It's when the impact of a traumatic event isn't limited to the person who directly experienced it. It can influence their children, grandchildren, and even their community. So, what is it basically? So, because I know that's kind of a lot to process and unpack, right? Generational trauma is basically when, say, for example, your parents are raised a certain way, so they believe that's how they should treat their children, their offspring, or the people around them. But in reality, it's just a form of abuse. And maybe they don't know that it's a form of abuse, or maybe they do, but they seem in their mind it's okay because they got treated that way. So why can't they treat someone else that way, right? And generational trauma, I feel like, is very, very dangerous in the sense that if it's not spotted by one of the generations, right? Say their kids or somebody around them or somebody else in the family, it can go on every single offspring that you have. It could go on to when you decide to have kids, so their grandkids. It could go on and so forth. And I feel like it's very important to spot this before it even gets to that point because stopping it right before it gets overwhelming to the point where you you think it's okay to be treated in a certain way, but you know that's not right. Like say like your friends in your life, right? Their parents don't treat them that way because maybe they didn't have abusive parents of their own. But maybe you'd like tell them what's happening in your life or somebody else's life and it's just not normal. That could have a strain on their relationship because maybe they don't know how to process any of that or they don't know how to talk you through or be there for you for anything in that nature, right? And generational trauma, again, it is, I feel like it's talked about, but not talked about to the extent of how dangerous it can be. And I mean dangerous in the sense of what the point I made before. It doesn't only affect you, it doesn't only affect the person that is directly getting spoken to by said person, right? It could be anybody, and it could have such a strain on your relationship with whoever it is, be it your parents, your brother, your sister, your grandparents, or even your friends, because maybe it's all you know, but